So basically, once this is the 50 EMA, okay. This acts as the support now. I'm sorry, as the resistance. So prices that struggle to break it, okay. Once price, if you notice over here how price stayed above the 50, right, and the 50 kind of held price up, right, kind of held it up to keep it buying, all right. Once that support is gone, here, price broke that support, and then it retested, this could possibly push this all the way down. This 50 EMA, so basically the price will struggle to break it, just like it struggled to break down over here. It kept on buying up. We're looking for it to do the opposite over here, to hit the 50 and go back down, you know? Yeah. For it to, you know, probably come down, hit the 50, come back down. You know, by the time it's here, if this 50 EMA is over here, we expect it to come up, hit that 50, come back down. What's going on, everyone? It's your boy DeAnte, Break the Cycle Section. How you doing? And welcome to tonight's chart and analysis session, guys. Hey, we had some nice moves last week, really nice moves. I'm looking forward for a couple of more nice moves. Hey, y'all gotta give me a second. I just now ran up them stairs, boy. Woo, the boy's out of breath. Let me talk to you. What's up, Princess? What's going on, Coquita? Who else is on here? What's up, Kiki, Antonio, Brianna, JC, Joe, Giovanni? Hey, nice of all of you to come up on the call tonight. What's up, Nanu? My grandmother's on tonight. What's up, Matt, Michelle, Naomi, Shane? My brother's on tonight. My sister's on. Hey, the whole family's here. The whole Break the Cycle family's here. Let's talk about it. What's up, Nicole? Hey, I'm glad all you guys are here. Before we get started, I'm going to run through a couple announcements as usual, okay? And then I'll let you guys know what pairs we're going to look at. Go ahead and actually, let me tell you guys what pairs we're going to look at first, and then I'm going to go to the announcements. So then if I'm not covering your pair tonight, you guys can go ahead and just drop them in the chat. Princess will take note of those, okay? Michelle is... Oh! That's what's up. Welcome, Michelle. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad you're here. All right, guys. So these are the pairs that I'm gonna cover. All right, I'm gonna cover the dollar index. I'm gonna cover gold. I'm gonna cover GBPUSD, GBPJPY, EURUSD, AUUSD, GBPNZD, and at the end I'm gonna cover US30. Okay, I might save gold to the end. I don't know yet. We'll see. Maybe we'll just jump on gold on the first charts we'll look at, all right? So if I'm not covering none of your pairs tonight, none of those pairs that I named off, go ahead and drop them down in the chat, all right? What's going to happen is if I have enough time to get to my pairs, if I have enough time to get through all my pairs, then I'm going to pick up your pairs too, okay? So go ahead and start dropping those down while I go through the announcements. Do me a favor, guys. If you're on right now, wherever you saw the link to tonight's call, and if you're inside of our Facebook chats, Slack, and groups, go ahead and drop an I'm on, all right? Just drop a little comment inside the chat, inside the Slack, all right? Drop a I'm on, so that everyone know, hey, we're about to get it popping tonight. We're about to start making some money, okay? So that's number one. Number two, guys, hey, if this is your first time to one of my webinars, first of all, welcome. My name is DeAnte Section. I am the owner of Break the Cycle FX. We try to create independent traders away from recruiting, all right? We don't focus on recruiting, we focus on trading, all right? That's the whole goal of me creating this company over the last 3 years. And guess what, guys? It's been working. People have become independent traders. Now, if you're interested in that, go ahead and check out our website, www.breakthecyclefx.com, all right? We do a whole lot of things throughout the week. And being that summer's winding down, we're actually about to start picking up, all right? About to start releasing a lot of stuff, a couple of services, a couple of strategies, all kinds of cool stuff, guys. So I'm telling you, if you're not part of the academy, you definitely want to check that out. It's really affordable, all right? We do daily signals, chart markups, live trade sessions 3 times a week with our 10 pips and dip group, headed up by our one and only, Coach Coquina, all right? They've been killing it. We're killing it every week, so make sure you guys check out our website, all right? Number 3, if you have to leave tonight, don't worry, guys. You're not going to miss nothing. This session is being recorded. Let me double check. This session is supposed to be recorded. Yeah, all right, cool. This session is being recorded, and the replays will be posted on YouTube as soon as possible, all right? So make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/BreakTheCycleFX, or you could just search for us on YouTube. Just type in Break the Cycle FX, and my channel will come up. Make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates or training that I put out on our YouTube channel, all right? Last but not least, throughout this Zoom or throughout this webinar, guys, one of my apprentices is going to be dropping the links to all these resources, all right? So she's probably going to wait a while, probably about 25, 30 minutes to make sure everyone's in, and then she's going to drop all these resources again, guys, all right? So make sure that you keep an eye on the chat, all right? That's all the announcements tonight. I'm going to go over the pairs one more time before we get rolling. So I'm going to cover the dollar index. I'm going to cover gold. I'm going to cover GBPUSD. I'm going to cover GBPJPY, EURUSD, AUUSD, GBPNZD, and US30. And of course, NAS 100 goes with all that too, and SPS 500, right? So, first of all, let me say this, guys. For the last couple of weeks, I've been basically behind. Like, I've been behind on the whole month ever since I got out the hospital, guys. That's my bad. I've been saying last week was NFP, I thought. Then I thought the weeks before that. I don't know where I was. I was ahead, a week ahead in my mind. So, guys, NFP is the first Friday of the month, okay? I don't know where I got last Friday from. I got mixed up somewhere. First Friday of the month, all right? This week is actually NFP. So I'm going to talk to you. Let's look at the news real quick. All right, so I'm kind of switching from looking at Forex Factory and looking at more of my FS books, Forex Economic Calendar. All right, if you guys don't have this thing bookmarked, make sure that you save this and you bookmark it, okay? This is how you know what news is coming out. This has been more reliable for me than Forex Factory, okay? So, all right, cool. Then Forex Factory. So, checking out the news, guys. When you're looking at news, all these yellow and orange folders, these are the folders, or these are the times or the currencies in these times they can move the most, okay? You're going to get spikes either up or down, all right? How do you use news is this. It depends on what kind of trader you are, okay? If you like taking retracements and stuff like that, then you could definitely, or breakouts, you could definitely look at these pairs, all right, when they come up for, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, for the times when they're going to move the most, all right? So we have people here that trade breakouts, all right? Then we have people who wait for the breakout, retest, and then continuation. Either way, it's up to you. You know, figure out your style, figure out your risk level. Everyone has a different risk level. So you just got to figure it out for yourself, okay? As you keep on trading, all right? So, so we got a lot of PMI here. We got, what else we got here? Employment change, anything like this, guys, employment change, unemployment changes, PMIs, FOMCs, you know, any of these things that talk about interest rates and bank rates and all this stuff, guys. These are the big moving news events, okay? Big moving news events, and usually the non-farm payroll will set the tone for the rest of the month, okay? So, NFP is on Friday. I recommend if you're new, you don't trade. Okay, just leave Friday alone. All right, trade Tuesday, Tuesday through Thursday, okay, or Monday through Thursday, whatever you like. But just leave NFP alone. Okay, you don't want to make a lot of money at the beginning of the week and then lose it all right, on NFP. So, with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and move on to our first chart. Okay, so here is the dollar index we looked at last week off of the weekly. If you guys remember. I dropped the Fibonacci on here, and these purple lines are my kill zone levels, okay? These are the areas that I'm looking for possible reversals, okay? Either here, here, or here, all right, for the pullbacks back up. So last week, what we saw was the dollar had hit our first kill zone level at 94.44. So we said, listen, if this candle turns bullish, we're looking for the dollar to go back up to EMA 200 off of the weekly, okay? And then here's the 4 hour, which we broke it down a little bit more. Yes, we knew that the dollar is in a sell coma. What we were saying was, look, price was definitely away from the 50 EMA. We always look for price to come back to the 50. So we're saying if we get like a bullish engulfing bullish candle anywhere at these levels, we'll look for a buy back up. With that being said, we always trade what the market gives us. So if we didn't get that bullish momentum, then we weren't going to look for it to buy back up. We're going to stay with the trend until it kept on falling, okay? Or until we finally saw some kind of reversal pattern. So let's check out the dollar index on the weekly first. Let's see where we at. So here's what we got. Let me, I'm just going to keep this down for now, guys. Down here is just my CDI. I don't need that right now. So, you know, when we do need it, I'll bring it back up, all right? So, but what do we see on the weekly? Another push, right? Nice exhaustion week, nice exhaustion wick here, all right? Just like we saw a nice exhaustion wick over here, all right? And at the top before price turned around. So usually you're gonna get a nice little, you gotta have price push a certain direction, okay? In this case, price was pushing down over here, but then the bulls came back in and pushed it back up. Then finally, price exhausted up here at the top, nice exhaustion wicks, and then it fell. So looking at this pattern off of the weekly, I'm expecting maybe we could get a push up now, okay? It all depends. So we have a nice exhaustion wick here. Remember, this is the weekly time frame. Let me go ahead and bring this TDI up so you guys can see something else. Check this out on the TDI, Traders Dynamic Index, all right? This is one of the main indicators I use. It's one of my favorites, all right? So TDI on the weekly, you see they have a nice shark fin out the water, all right? We call this a shark fin out the water, or, you know, what they call it, blood out the water or whatever. Listen, when this TDI line, this red line right here, when it comes out of this Bollinger Bands like this, we're usually looking for it to go which way? Back up, right? Slingshot back up, at least back up to this yellow line, which is called market sentiment, okay? This yellow line is called market sentiment, okay? Right here, this dotted line in the middle, just give you a quick review on this CDI. This dotted line in the middle, this is the 50 static, all right? So usually, if your RSI line and your trigger line and market sentiment, like here, this yellow line, is above this 50 static, all right? Because this is fluid. Okay, this moves up and down over here, so you have to pay attention. But if it's above the 50 static, you're looking at it to buy up, right? If it's below, this is kind of like a momentum shift, okay? Well, price might start falling now or whatever it may be, but now that is actually overextended outside of this Bollinger Bands, we're looking for it to at least cross back up. So that's what I'm looking for on price, okay? Understand this is also the weekly. I will break it down a little bit further, all right? I just want you guys to see the overall feel of the dollar, okay? So, nice exhaustion wick, expecting the push up, especially with the nice, with the TDI popping out the Bollinger Band. So, if I drop down to, oh, and the other thing is this exhaustion wick hit our second level, our second kill zone level for entry, for a buy. Right? And that's where it's exhausted at. So if we see a nice bullish candle here this week, right, we'll expect it to keep on going up to the EMA 200 at least next week, and maybe the following week up to the EMA 50, okay? So if we break this down to the 4 hour, the 4 hour is looking for price to hit, this is going to be short term, right? Well, this is still long term, my bad. But I'm looking for price to hit the EMA 50. Okay, you see we have nice bullish momentum here. There's nothing here showing us a slowdown yet, although we did reach a high, or it did reach this point here. It didn't break this high over here, so it's not really a higher high, right? It's still a downtrend, still a downtrend. So we can catch this up at the 50 EMA, if it does another push, we probably expect this to pull down for a retracement and then back up to continue that push, okay? So with all this being said, guys, check this out. Remember how I said on the weekly? Look at the weekly here. I'm looking at the TDI now, all right? Look at the weekly. Let's see how high the 50 is up here. If I go down to the 4 hour, well, let me go back, my bad. You see how this market sentiment is right at the 50 here, right? If I go down to the 4 hour, you see how market sentiment is way below the 50? On these higher time frames, guys, on these higher time frames, when you get your market sentiment line, this yellow line, all the way down here, 29, I like it better around 20 down here, then you can expect the overall reversal, right? So this is still showing a lot of bearish momentum, okay? It's still way below the 50. So even if this means, this is what that means. Even if it does pull up, it's still pull back down. Let me go to the daily. I want to see. So here we are on the daily, guys. I'm still expecting a nice pull up, but look at the daily also. Market sentiment is still below the 50. So I don't think it's going to be a full-on reversal, just probably like a pullback, right? So it's still below the 50. Usually, if we're going to see this turn around and go the other way, we're going to see some kind of market formation on our CDI. Same thing if we're using the stochastic, okay? Or anything similar to like a trend indicator, a momentum indicator, okay? So RSI, stochastic, things like that. So even if we do get a push up, I would expect it to come back down, create a double bottom, and then push up. Let me tell you what I'm talking about. You see right here on the CDI, when price fell, we got a nice double bottom here, right, on the CDI, and then it bought up. Look, price, double bottom, and then what it do? It bought up, okay? Up here, double top at market sentiment, well, triple top, actually, then it fell. But you see on price, nice triple top, boom, 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 and then it fell, okay? So I'm looking for something like that here. I'm looking for a double bottom, inverted head and shoulders. You could probably find one of a lower time frame, okay? I know I'm spending a lot of time on this chart. I'm doing it for a reason because on the next charts, I probably won't. So I want you guys to understand what I'm saying while I'm going through this the first, second, and third time around, all right? So overall, where's that daily? I'm still looking for this on the daily. I'll buy up to, let's just say, back to this breakout. This is where it broke out. So we want to buy up at least back up to that breakout, right? And this is the 50 on our Fibonacci. So at any rate, whenever you do see it, guys, when you do when you do see it start to buy up, you can expect it to at least go up to the 50 EMA, okay? That's what I look for, at least to the 50 EMA, all right? So dollar up, we're looking for gold to finally fall. A couple things about gold I want to point out, though, okay? A couple things about gold. Number one, let's look at the chart from last week, as a matter of fact. Here was what we saw on gold on the 1 hour last week. So we looked at gold. We actually looked at it on the higher time frames. I didn't drop those charts, though. But like we always say with gold, guys, look, if you're going to trade gold, you have to be really it's safer to trade with the trend. You have to be kind of a little bit more experienced to take the retracements, okay? They are a lot more risky, especially on gold. I say that every week, all right? So as long as we're showing a buy POMA, you just want to wait for the pullbacks and take the buys back up, right? This is on the 1 hour, okay? Let's see. Last week, we were expecting either a fall here, because this is a strong level on the monthly, or we're expecting to say, look, if it doesn't break this 50 EMA here on the 1 hour, this bad boy is going all the way up to 1960, all right, to the top of that resistance level. So let's see what it did. Let's talk about it on the 1 hour. So what did it do? It respected our 50, right? It respected POMA, right? As long as we're on a buy POMA, we're just going to wait for those pullbacks and take the buys up, right? So we didn't get this part. but we did get this buy up. And then that's about 622 pips, right? But we also took a couple of sells last week. I think we got burnt on one. We did like 250 pips in the free group and like 150 pips in the premium group. You know, we're trying to eat off gold, but listen, this thing is dangerous, guys. It's dangerous. So everyone's looking for a sell. Please mute your mics out. Everyone's looking for a sell, which I am too, right? But I'm still convinced that gold is going to push up more. I think that gold is going to push up more. It's broken all highs. If we go up to the monthly, look, this is just strong momentum, right? Of course, before it continues to push up even like a lot more, I don't think we're going to get another 600 pips, of course, right? Before something like that, then that's like almost 2,000 pips, Jesus. Before something like that, it has to pull back, right? Price always has to pull back at some point before it could continue in a particular direction, right? So let me go up to the monthly here. So like I said, we need a pullback to sustain this bullish momentum, okay? Although it's at the monthly high right now, this is still strong momentum up, guys. I don't see no signs of weakness here right now, right? The only thing I see is at a high, right? It's extremely overbought, okay? But that don't mean nothing on gold. Being overbought don't mean nothing, all right? It can still push another 100 pips if it wanted to, okay? So gold overall, guys, may possibly get a buy, wait for a retracement, and then a push off. Me personally, I'm going to let gold buy as high as it wants. I'm going to wait till I get a POMA, opposite sell POMA, to go to the south side. So POMA, when I talk about POMA, this is what I'm talking about, guys. Really quick, because I want you guys to catch this. Look at this, first of all, this 15-minute, all right? If you're brand new, and I want you to throw your EMA 50, EMA 200 on your chart, okay? Or at least the EMA 200, okay? And listen, if price is above, actually do the 50 and the 200 because this is going to keep you out of trouble, okay? If the 50, this is red, this 50, the yellow is 200. If the 50 is above the 200, guys, especially on like the 15-minute, even the 5-minute, if it's scalping, right? If it's above the 200, don't take nothing but buys, especially if you're new. Okay, if you're not a strong charter or chart markuper, if you can't mark up charts that well, let's talk about it. Then just do this, put your 50 EMA 200, do your markups, right? And only trade in the direction of POMA. Okay, once you start getting this, when the EMAs are close together, kind of stay away from that. Okay, stay away from that until you start to see them start to spread apart again. You see over here a nice spread. All right, wait for price to come down to the EMAs, see if you get rejection. Boom. Look, this came down, came back up above our EMA 200. That's the break. Okay, this broke a resistance level, came back down, retested that resistance level. That's entry on the retest. Okay, don't worry about catching the breakout. Let it break out. Wait for the retest, enter. According to POMA, oops, sorry, wrong thing. According to POMA, boom, that's 97 pips into EMA 50. And if you were to take it to the previous high, okay, when I say, all right, I think I'm spending a little bit too much time on this, but when I say take it back to the previous high, okay, when price breaks like it broke here, boom. It broke, it sold all the way down, right? When I say take it back to the previous high, this entry, you're taking this back up to the previous high right here, okay? You can go a little bit lower. You don't have to go exactly, right? On gold, if that's the previous high, and this is a lot of pips, you know, cut it like 25, 50 pips short or just below where the previous breakout was, right? Right here, even here, okay? And I'm just going to put a line, wrong line. I'm going to put this line right here. Boom, right? That's if take profit. Look, it hit. Easy day. It's nerve-wracking because that's a long time to wait. But listen, trading is about patience. This is a patience game, not a money game. You can make all the money in the world if you have patience. You can lose all your money if you don't have patience. Trading is a patience game. Keep that in mind, okay? Not a money game. So overall, I'm gonna wait till this to flip. I want to see EMA 200 here. I want to see this red line. I want to see this red line, that's the 50 EMA, below my EMA 200. I want to see price below that. All right, I'm gonna show you an example in the next charts, okay, of what we want to see. I always go with that, all right? So let me show you what I'm looking for. Go to the 1 hour. Make this a little bit bigger. I'm just gonna make it boom, boom. I want to see it fall like that. Okay, I want to see it fall. And if it doesn't fall, guys, guess what? We're not taking this out. Okay? If it doesn't fall, we're not taking this out. Does that make sense, everyone? Everyone good? I started seeing the trades from 1350 falls to major levels. That's what yep. 1350 falls, baby. Let it break out. Yeah, let it break that. Yeah, let that bad boy break. All right. Let me drop this flat. Anything else, guys? If you guys want to trade that, I mean, do your thing. Remember, my chart and analysis sessions, this is just what I see. You know, I'm giving you guys my little input, my little 10 cents of what I'm looking for, right? But these are your trading accounts, okay? Even if I drop a signal, if it doesn't match your confirmation, then don't take it. If it doesn't match your strategy, then don't take it, okay? All right, so just use me as like an extra resource, okay? As an extra resource that we could potentially. So, next trade.
Excuse me, DeAnte.
Yes, ma'am.
It's Sheila.
Hey, Sheila.
Can you explain to me what you said? What did you say? POMA? POMA?
POMA? Yeah, POMA is P-O-M-A. It stands for Perfect Order of Moving Averages, okay? So basically, this is one of the main things as one of our strategies, pips mode. Basically, you have to EMA the smooth. All right, so for a buy, you want to have your bigger EMA at the bottom. So in our case, EMA 200, and then you want the next smallest. So if I have like an EMA 25 or an EMA 50, it would be like EMA 200, EMA 50, EMA 25 at the top, and then price on top of the EMA 25. So basically, it just shows a strong uptrend. All right, as long as the price is above the 50, you're on the uptrend. If it's below the 50 and in between the 50 and the 200, that's a weak sell. Okay, it could be a retracement or just a pullback. I'm not retracement, I'm sorry, a pullback, all right? But once this EMA 50 is below the EMA 200 and price is below the EMA 50, so it's EMA 200, EMA 50, and then price, that shows a shift in momentum, and now you're looking for sales. Okay, now it's a downtrend. Okay, anytime price is in between these EMAs, that's a weak move. Okay, but you can still trade it from the 50 to the 200 and to the 200 to the 50. So next chart is going to be GBPUSD. Last week, what did we see? We saw that price was at a strong, well, it was at a resistance level. Okay, and it's also around the bank rate. 1.2798, that's just 2 pips from 1.2800, okay? 1.2800 is an institutional bank rate, okay, and a nice resistance level. So we're expecting this to pull down at least 100 pips to 1.2700 or to the EMA 50 where it is at once the price starts to pull down. And then we're going to look for maybe see if it rejected back up, right? So GU last week did not care. that it was at resistance level. Okay, so it broke right through that resistance level, but it steadily respected this 50, right? So sticking with Poma, I mean, this would have been a trade that I went and I took, of course, because it didn't show no rejection. We didn't get rejection off of the resistance level. We actually got an engulfing impulsive move to break through that resistance level, right? Breakout. Here was the retest of that breakout. That would have been entry for you guys if you saw it and you could took it up, okay? So that bad boy did not want to fall. It kept on going. Of course, as long as the dollar was going to fall, then we knew that this was going to buy, okay? So these levels are broken. All these levels here are broken also, guys. Look, I have no more resistance levels up here, okay? So what does that mean? That means we need to update this chart, all right? Let's keep it super simple. You guys remember what I showed you last week about every 100 pips? All right, so most currencies, I'm just going to cover it real quick. Most currencies, you can kind of catch them moving 100 pips at a time, 50 pips at a time, or 100 to 150 pips at a time, right? With GU, if it does break a bank level, like it broke 2,800, then it came back, retested 2,900, broke that. If it breaks a bank level, more than likely, GU will go to the next bank level, whether it's bullish or bearish, okay? Does that make sense? So, now, looking at GU, just straight off the 1 hour, we probably got to keep it here, okay? Let me show you how to drop this resistance, support resistance real quick, the easy way. So, first thing I did, price is over here, all right? Here's price. I set it at 100 pips apart, okay? 1.2800, 1.2900, 1.3000. If you move this up or down, you'll see those price intervals will start to change, okay? Let me go up. See, now it's every 50 pips. You see, 1.2950, 1.3000, so on and so forth, all right? But we wanted to have it every 100 pips. We're gonna keep it simple. Now, if you right-click on the back of the chart, go down to settings, right here, horizontal grid lines, not vertical line, all right? Horizontal grid line. We could turn this a bit like the transparency up. Now you see these black lines over here, guys? They're set every 100 pips. Now, like I said, if you move the chart, these price levels will move. So what do? We go ahead and we mark them off. We catch one of these horizontal lines right here, and we're gonna mark off a couple levels above. Oh, hold on. 1 second, guys. 1 second, 1 second. Here we go. All right, so I'm just gonna lay these lines right over these other black lines here, okay? There's a couple levels below, and I wanna go a couple levels above. Boom, boom. Now we got support resistance, right? So now I'll go back to settings, go back to horizontal, boom. So how do we know if these levels are good? Like, just because we put lines on a chart and call it support resistance doesn't mean there's support resistance, right? You have to double check these levels, okay? Look, boom, right here, price came up, it was testing this level, pushed off of it to our EMA 50, it finally broke, retested, pushed it off again, right? Boom, nice little buy up to the next resistance level. At this resistance level, what did it do? Price hesitated, pulled down to the 50, and then pushed up again, okay? Breakout, retest, push up. The same thing we've been preaching, okay? So, being that price has hesitated these levels, it's been respected, these are pretty strong levels. These are good, okay? So, with that being said, now we can analyze this chart, all right? Some people would start dropping trend lines. Some people can start doing counter trend lines and Fibonacci and all that stuff, which I do too. But to keep it simple, guys, we could really just use our EMA 50 and 200 as fluid trend lines, support resistance, okay? So these levels of support and resistance and I said trend lines, and our EMAs, I'm sorry guys, our EMAs are fluid support resistance, all right? So now let's talk about what could possibly happen in the future. Number one, I'm going to start from the bottom. Number one, check out our TDI. Okay? TDI is showing that market sentiment, this yellow line, is above the 50, which tells me that it could still push up more. Okay? Our RSI and trigger line did fall below market sentiment, but kind of found support right around the 50 static, right? And remember what I said before, when we get a nice move outside of this blue Bollinger Bands, blood in the water, okay? Then we're expecting this to do what? Slingshot back up, all right? So now we're looking for possibly a potential buy. Just looking at this one indicator for now, okay? We also see a possible TDI cross here, right? If this RSI line crosses over the trigger line, you see I just turned blue? Look, that's a possible buy entry, okay? Now let me show you how this all looks when you put it all together and you're looking at price too. So if I'm looking for a buy, am I still good, guys? All right, cool. If I'm looking for a buy, I'm in a buy POMA. Number one, all right, so I am looking for a nice little, is in the uptrend, so I'm looking for a buy. Price came down to the 50. Let me just blow this up a little bit. Price came down to the 50. At the same time, if we look at our CDI, everything's lining up, right? Blood out the water, expecting this to come back up, at least to the 50 static. We got a nice, strong bullish candle here, okay? The only thing is right now we're like right at this resistance level, guys. We're like right at 1.3,000. So if you remember what I said before, usually when I'm looking for a buy and I'm looking at my CDI or my RSI or my stochastic or whatever's down here that you guys are using, I'm looking for some type of formation, buy formation, right? Even though we have a nice candle formation here that shows us the buy, I mean, that's entry at the 50. Let's talk about it. All right. That's entry. We could take it back to the high. 85 pips. Okay. This is off the 1 hour. Let's check the 4 hour real quick. All right. So 4 hour, same thing. Market sentiment is above the 50. Still looks like a buy, right? But we get a nice little vector move, like a cross or like a V, like here, a V, like how it comes down, nice V, boom, back up, or it came up here, nice V down. We could catch something like that here, ooh-wee, right? It might push up to 1.3200. This is all short term though, okay? This buy, to me, is short term. Short term, let's talk about it. Let me see here. So you could take it all the way to the high. Show your stop loss. Once you're 30 pips in profit, move your stop loss to break even, right? Boom. We could drop a fib on here too, but let's just leave it here for now, okay? Because I wanted to look at the weekly. Higher time frame. Look where we're at. Higher time frame on the weekly. We're right at the EMA 200, okay? So we might get a nice push past this like it did over here, right? 1.3178, 1.3200 is right here. I don't think it will break 1.3200, but it can, okay? It can. Look over here. It pushed all the way up to 1.3400 over here, okay? And then it slowed down. But you see, every time it hit this EMA 200, this one pushed past it for, I can't tell, let me see. This one pushed past it for about 145 pips. So even though we have our EMAs and our levels here, guys, wait till you see confirmation for the turnaround sell, for the opposite move or whatever. And that's why I like to go to my 15-minute time frame, okay? So 15-minute time frame, guys. What? All right, so we might get a nice little double bottom here, another push up. Instead of going all the way to the high, you could drop a fib, or you could just wait until it breaks past the 50 EMA, okay? Because this almost looks like an inverted head and shoulders here. And I want to possibly play out, and it could buy up, all right? So you guys ask, where's entry? Where would I enter? Where's take profit? Where's stop loss? Oh, sorry, keep on pressing the wrong button. So if you enter here, anywhere around here, just put your stop loss below the 50 EMA. Okay, I would do a little bit of pips past it. Okay, just do it below the 50 EMA. Once price breaks that 50, you could possibly start seeing a turnaround. Okay, but for now, this is what we got. Other thing is, this low never broke this low over here either. So this is still a pretty strong uptrend. Does that make sense? Until the market tells us it's ready to sell, then that's not when that's only when we're going to start taking the sales. Okay. All right. So our next chart is going to be on GBPJPY. GBPJPY, we checked it out last week on the 4-hour time frame. First thing we saw was our stochastic was starting to flip, okay, showing that price could possibly go back up, right? At the same time that was happening, it was down at our channel, all right? Our bottom trend line here, this white line, this is actually a trend line here, okay? The top and the bottom, right? So we saw that price fell down to this resistance level, all right? Support level, I'm sorry, to this support level, and we had a nice rejection, nice 4-hour engulfing bullish candle, right? That this is an engulfing bullish candle for the new folks, all right? This candle, this big blue one, if I was to take this, it would cover up this entire candle over here, okay? That means this engulfing there, it covers it up, all right? This shows momentum off of the 4-hour time frame to the upside. So putting all this together, the stochastic flip at the bottom, okay, showing that price could possibly go back up, and the engulfing 4-hour candle showing bullish momentum, plus it broke the 50. We're expecting to go back up at least to this resistance level, okay? The reason why we said here and not all the way up here to our first kill zone level up here is because we saw a potential head and shoulders pattern here also. So we weren't going to risk it. We're going to take the buy all the way up to here, start trailing our stop loss to see how far it pushes up, okay? So let's see how GBPJPY did. Here's the 4-hour. Let's talk about it. We got a breakout. Price bought up where we said it would, right? 100 pips right there. If you were 30 pips in profit, like we say, about 30 pips, move your stop loss to break even or start trailing it. If you would have trailed this, not only you would have caught, let's just say, conservatively 284 pips, okay? 284 pips. Now, what can we possibly look for? Let's start from the bottom. Let's start from the bottom. Let's kind of get a bead on where the market's at. Then we know what we could do, okay? Oh, I see some comments here. 1 second. Okay. So, price basically broke out of our channel. This is the breakout right here. When we say breakout, this is a breakout. Look at that nice, strong push. There's no orange candles in here, right? The blue candles is when price is going up. The orange candles is when price is going down. You see this momentum here? After this retest, it just pushed, right? Just pushed up. So we wouldn't be taking it to sales, but we will wait till price comes back down, retest this level here, the breakout, okay? Remember, breakout, retest, this is where we're gonna look for entry, guys. If and only if and only if it shows a bullish candle pushing off, like we saw over here, like something, maybe not this big, but like over here, right? A nice strong push up, rejection up off of this level. Then we want to take it back to the high, okay? With that being said, GJ, it could just come right back to this support level right here, okay? Because it broke multiple levels. It broke this level, 1. It broke this level, 2. It broke this level, 3, okay? So this is all support levels now, all right? So this is called, I like to call this what's the word I'm looking for? Basically, I can't think of the word right now. I just now had a blank brain. But these are all levels that price has to break to come down. It's going to be harder for price to break these levels than it would for price to push up here. Does that make sense? All right. It's going to be harder for this to come all the way down here, break this level, break this strong level here to keep on selling down, than it will be for it to come down to this level, this support level, and push up. Okay. So could could GJ push up more? Yeah. Yeah, GJ could push up more. All right. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if over time we saw it come all the way up to eBay 200. All right. But we have nice momentum. So I'm waiting for the pullback on GJ. Waiting for the pullback. And let me see something here. Let's just remove these levels here. Okay. Let's remove these. Actually, we'll just make them black. Okay. Because no longer, these kill zone levels were for when I was looking for to hit these levels and sell back down, right? But it broke all my kill zone levels. Now I'm expecting it to at least come up here, guys. You know, come up here, push down. So anywhere in this area, anywhere in this area right here. Oops, sorry about that. We can even come down. With that being said, guys, could this thing do a full-on reversal? Yeah. All right, because it's so high up, just like it did over here. Last time it got to this level, it plummeted. Okay? So we can almost expect maybe the same thing here, okay? If we get a nice strong rejection. So remember, like I showed you guys on the dollar index, I think it was the dollar index in the gold earlier tonight, about these wicks. Right? Remember, this is the 4 hour time frame, okay? Look at these wicks over here at this level. Boom, it wicked up. What did it do? It started to fall, wicked up again, retested this level, and then it fell, right? Oops. Down here, at this support level, we got a nice wick here, right? Nice wick to the support level. Then what did it do? Pushed up. Same thing here. Wick to a resistance level, our EMA 50 and the 50 on our fib. It pushed down. What do we see now? A wick. We see a wick. What will we expect? Someone let me know in the chat. I just showed you 3 examples, or maybe 4 examples of what happens after we get a nice strong wick on the 4 hour. We have a nice wick here. What could we possibly expect? A sell. Okay? A sell. So watch it in this area. A lot of people are expecting to sell, so that means it's probably going to push up and then sell. Okay? So wait for your confirmations. Wait for your EMA flips, guys. Okay? If this is too many lines on here, let me know if you're confused. All right? Let's do this. There's a way. There. Okay? Wait for your EMAs to flip if you want to take a nice sell. All right? You good? Everyone's good? All right, cool. EURUSD on the 4 hour. What do we see? What were we expecting? A couple of things. Number one, we always expect price to pull back to the 50, right? EURUSD was hella far from the 50. Then we're saying, look, we're at a nice resistance level around 1.1650, which is a minor bank rate. Anything that ends in, well, you can also consider it a major bank rate. Anything that ends in 5 zeros, not 5 zeros. Anything that ends in 50 or 500, those are like your minor bank rates. Anything that ends in 100 or all zeros, like 1,100, all those 1,200, 1,300, those are your major bank rates, right? 1,500, 1,600, okay? So we saw it hitting 1,650. We're expecting it to possibly pull down before it pushed up a little bit more. We did have a nice resistance level up here. but we're saying, look, it could reach 1750 and then also reject up here too. So basically, we're waiting for it to come back to the 50 to take a buy entry. Let's see what it did. Euro USD. And that was the 4 hour, right? Yeah. 4 hour time frame. What did it do? That thing kept on buying, didn't it? Never pulled back to the 50, so we never took interest in the 50, right? Unless you drop down to the 1 hour. Now you have a buy entry every time it hits. Boom. 50, buy Poma, came down to the 50. You know, once you start seeing that bullish momentum, you can wait for a full candle to close, like over here. Boom, enter the buy. Do it had a little bit of drawdown, but look, take off, right? Same here, came out into the 50, take off, right? So that one didn't play out. We didn't take no interest on it. We didn't get what we wanted. Let's see what we can see for this week. So the weekly is showing a nice bullish push. Let's see. Let's go to the weekly. I'm sorry. Wrong one. Here you go. The weekly is showing a nice bullish push with another exhaust wick, right? Another exhaust wick. Of course, this is the weekly. It's a lot bigger time frame, but we just want to see the overall movement of this pair. Okay. So EURUSD came back up here. We tested this level. Okay. Nice exhaustion wick. About 136 pips right there. All right. Now it's starting to kind of pull back down. So this week, can this week's candle fill in last week's wick? Yes, it can. Yeah. We want this at the end of this week or next week, we want to see that this is a bullish candle, and then we'll know we're good for a strong sell. But does that mean we can't take no trades off of it until then? No. Let's talk about it. Look, we're so far away from the 50 right now, right? Expecting price to come back to the 50. That's a lot of pips over there. Let's see if we can find a level that's being respected. All right. So here's the thing. I'm gonna go back into the daily. I'm gonna tell you guys why I keep on going down the time frames. All right. So anytime price is moving like this, especially with the 50 and 200, and if it's real far away, what you could do is you could go down to your time frames and look for the time frame that's being respected, guys. All right. This bullish momentum here, this bullish push, there's a time frame somewhere in here that price keeps on coming down to and pushing off of. We have to find it. Okay, we have to figure out which time frame is this trending off of. 4 hour. It's kind of respecting that 50, right? It kind of consolidated here. Right now, I might start respecting the 50, but let's see something else. Let's see if we can find a better time frame. Check out the 1 hour. Is the 1 hour being heavily respected the most so far? You guys see what I'm talking about? When I talk about being respected, the 50, right? While I'm going down to my time frames to find out which level is price bouncing off of, which time frame is price bouncing off of. All right. So the 1 hour is being respected. Okay. So with that being said, now we found price kind of broke the 1 hour 50. Okay. It could come back down to this resistance level, but I'm expecting another push off of the EMA 200. All right. So we might have a short-term buy opportunity, long-term sell. All right. Let's check out the 4 hour a little bit more. Look at this 4 hour. Look how, remember what we said about the CDI? There's a couple of things. I'm glad this is happening right now. There's a couple of things I want to show you guys in this. That's going to help you. Remember what we said about market sentiment. This is yellow line here, right? Market sentiment and CDI. Remember when I told you that, I think we were looking at a different pair, GU maybe, I can't remember. But when this market sentiment was all the way down here, right, so at the 20s, 30s, down here, now it's all the way, it's opposite, right? It's all the way up by like the 68 and the 75. On these higher time frames, guys, when you have market sentiment so high up, we're expecting a reversal soon. All right, probably not now. This is the 4 hour, but we're expecting a reversal soon. Okay, so right now, 4 hour, the price is bouncing off of the 50 static. That's a nice support level. Okay, even though we're looking for this big sell to come eventually. Remember, today's Sunday. Then we got Monday. Keep in mind your news. All right, this big sell probably won't happen until after like FOMC, like Wednesday, or NFT probably on Friday, right? So since everyone's looking for a big sell like this right now, it's probably going to do opposite. We see it every week, right? We see it every week. So looking at the 4 hour, let's go through our confirmations. Let's keep it simple, okay? Looking at the 4 hour, we see that the RSI bled out the water at the bottom, right? What you guys already know, when we see this, we want to see price what? Slingshot back up, okay? We can even talk about divergence on the higher time frame, okay? But I'm not going to get that deep right now. I want to try to keep it as simple as possible, right? So, shark fin out the water, or bled out the water at the top, right? Expecting to come back up, create some kind of formation, maybe up here, like a double top, or possibly inverted head up, not inverted, head and shoulders pattern. All right. Once price comes up, to sell back down. Right. So right now, though, if we go down, so we got the 4 hour shark fin out the water, right? On the 1 hour, what's the 1 hour doing? Look at this TI. Look, it's starting to create possibly a formation, possibly a double bottom, right? Market sentiment is still above the 50 static. So that tells me this is still pushed up pretty high, all right? Price hasn't broken this level right here yet either, 1.1735. So it's not really creating the lower lows yet, right? It's falling, but not really no lower lows. We haven't broken this low over here or these lows over here, all right? So we could still get rejection right off of this level, okay? So be cautious, ONG on EURUSD, when you're in here, in between these DMAs, because we have 2 support levels here, 2 resistance levels here, right? We could get some consolidation, or we could get a breakout, all right? So if you're not liking the way it looks, there's 109 pips right there. If you're not liking the way it looks, then just don't take it, okay? See if price pushes down to the EMA 200, actually, right? You see how our TDI, it came up, and now it's starting to hook that down? This tells me it's going to sell down a little bit more, create a double bottom possibly, and then buy up. Does that make sense? Does that make sense, guys? All right. So here's what we're looking for. We're looking for either a buy here, back up. How many pips is that? That's about 100 pips, right? Buy there or here. You make at this support level or at this support level, okay? But remember, we're in the strong resistance level. Don't forget this higher time frame, all right? Don't forget this. That's the daily.
What about the potential head and shoulders on the hourly?
Yep, I saw that up right here if it came up. So I'm glad you said that. So with head and shoulders patterns, the best head and shoulders patterns look sort of like this. If this is more prominent, I will be more excited. But remember, once price is under the 50, what does this 50 act like? This 50 EMA acts like what?
Resistance.
That's as resistance, yeah. And if you think about it, that's like an arm. If we think of like a head and shoulders pattern, because you're gonna get these a lot. Nice head and shoulders pattern, left shoulder, head, possibly get the boom, and then get that nice sell, right? If you're looking for this move to happen, you want to make sure that price, let me zoom in a little bit, that 50 is nicely over price's right shoulder, and it's going to act like an arm weighing down price. So this should possibly push price all the way down, right? But remember, we could get rejection off of any of these levels. So if you get this, let's go down to 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Let me see if I can make this. I'll spend a little bit more time on this because I think this may be one of the last charts for tonight, guys. I'm gonna drop the other charts in the Slack channel.
Good question, D.
So 15-minute sell Poma could be possibly the right shoulder. If this is gonna fall, right? This is telling me this is still gonna sell. You see how high? Look at this trigger line. This is the outside line right here. There's blue and red one. Boom, boom, boom. This orange line, I don't know how well you guys can see it. That's the trigger line. All right. If we caught this earlier, we could have caught this sell. You know, but now we want to wait for it to pull back to the 50. See what it does. All right. But this tells me, look how high up this trigger line is from this RSI line. Right? This tells me this could possibly keep on pushing down. Okay? Until they kind of line up. Also, look at market sentiment. Where's it at in relation to the 50 static on the TDI? It's below it. Right? Nice strong downtrend. Okay? So if this holds up, if this 50-20 or 20-50 cross holds up for the sell Poma, if you get a nice pullback, just like I pulled over here, right? This nice pullback, look for that sell down. If this is a true head and shoulders pattern. Okay, so let me just mark this whole thing red, the down move.
Thanks, D. I appreciate it.
No problem. I heard someone say, quick question. Who was that? Giovanni?
Giovanni.
Yes, ma'am.
Is this a major downtrend or uptrend?
All right, so if you look on, going by the 4 hour, we're on the uptrend. Going by 4 hour, we're on the uptrend, right? Actually, before I do all that, let me just drop this real quick, guys. Let me drop this real quick. All right.
Like weekly? Is it
Weekly? So I really wouldn't consider the uptrend until the 50 crosses over the 200, but it's definitely an uptrend. Let's talk about it. All right, this is the weekly time frame. So it's definitely an uptrend, but what we're looking at is possible rejection here. Even, let me just drop this chart real quick because I want to take some stuff off and drop a fib on here. All right. Here we go.
I think this is like the fourth wave, like the pullback, the fourth pullback usually is the longest before the fifth wave.
Yeah. Yeah, so we definitely want to see if this respects this 50 the whole night and tomorrow, definitely want to see it I'll take the sell down, especially if we get the flip. Now this double bottom, this possible double bottom here, could just be a price falling down to the 200, then buying back up to the 50 and then falling, right? Just like I noted here. So even though it looks like a double bottom here, you probably won't see it unless you're looking on the smaller time frames, right? Just like this double bottom here, boom, 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 and then it bought up. We'll probably get another nice little double bottom here, especially if it breaks this level. A push up for a retest, and then the sell down. Does that make sense? I'm going to go up to the weekly real quick, and I kind of just want to drop a fib on it. I want to drop a fib from here. So I'm dropping this fib. Some people might come all the way up here. You know, if that's your thing, there's nothing wrong with that. You still gonna get pretty close, right? But I'm gonna drop mine on the actual breakout candle. So you see how price kind of just went back and forth here, right? Kind of consolidated there. And then it finally broke. Boom. So these candles are the ones that broke the previous lows all the way down. See, this low was lower than this low. That's where I'm gonna put my fib on the breakout, okay? Boom, on that candle, that wick right there, all the way down to the bottom of where price came at. Boom, all right? So remember, short-term buy, long-term sell, right? looking at the weekly, a much more respectable time frame than the 1 hour and the 4 hour, right? We're at our second level kill zone level, okay? Second level kill zone level, all right, on the Fibonacci, which is the 0.705, okay? Had a nice wick to the second kill zone level. Let's talk about it. This is what we want to see. Want to see that bad boy pull all the way back down, at least to the 50, okay? The reason why I say at least to the 50 is because by the time price does pull down, remember this is the weekly, our EMA 200 or our EMA 200 maybe a little bit higher at that support, okay? I do think it's going to pull down because here we go, shark fin out the water, all right? Remember the exact opposite of when price is down. I showed you in other examples, we want to see it come back up. Now look at here, price is above the the Bollinger Bands here, this blue line, right? Price is above it. That means this is over exhausted. We want to start seeing this curve down and come back in to the Bollinger Bands, okay? Then we're good for a long-term sell for at least 200 pips, okay? For at least 200 pips. Let me drop this weekly. And then you guys can break this chart down according to however you trade, right? If we're looking for a long-term sell, then you go to the 15-minute or the 1 hour or wherever and look for price to line up, okay? Nice support level. It's probably going to push up and then come down. Does that make sense? Where's the TDI located? All right, so the TDI, if you are a part of Break the Cycle FX, you do have access to the TDI inside of the premium 2 volt, all right, especially with PIP, which one? PIP Smoke, okay? You'll get the TDI that you can upload to your NT4. If you're using TradingView, you can go here where it says indicators, or FX right here, all right? I have a favorite, it's right here, CDI, Traders Dynamic Index by Twan Lewis, all right? And then look for like the 1483. So this is the one I'm using, I'm pretty sure. Let me just double check. Yeah, that's the one I'm using, okay? So that's how you find the CDI. Let me break this down. I got you, Brianna. So Brianna asked me, can you break down the indicator you're using more? More specifically, what is the trigger line and how does it indicate where price is and what are your settings for the indicator? Okay. So I'm gonna run through what I'm using real quick, guys. Let me just go to a regular chart. How about that? Just one that we aren't trading. Remove all drawings. All right. This is what I'm using. EMA 200, EMA 50. Both are closed, okay? My EMA 200 is yellow. My EMA 50 is red. TDI. It's called the Traders Dynamic Index, okay? It has a couple of different parts to it. Let me show you what it is. First is the Bollinger Bands. If you guys are familiar with Bollinger Bands, they basically measure momentum of a currency when you can almost tell when it's about to break out in a specific direction, all right? Anytime price is way out of this blue line here, if it's way above, you got to expect for it to pull back. If it's way below, you got to expect for it to kind of pull up, all right? So, in this particular indicator, it kind of makes it a little bit easier. Basically, when you're in the red, when this blue and red line, that's the RSI, basically, okay? This is the orange line, that's the trigger line, all right? So, when you have, actually, let me keep on going. This yellow line is called market sentiment. It's basically, it does exactly what it says. It tells you the overall market sentiment of how traders are feeling about the particular currency, okay? And you see here is all based off of, it has like a little scale here. This is fluid. You know, sometimes this 50 may be up here, it may be all the way down here. You may not even see it, okay? So you have to kind of pay attention to where your CDI is actually laid out, all right? Me personally, I like to drop a horizontal line on this 50 static right here. All right, so now I automatically know that when I have my RSI, my trigger line, and market sentiment above my 50 static, I'm looking for a buy. Okay, or actually, I'm looking. There's going to be buy momentum overall, though, and I need to make sure that I'm in a buy coma also. Right, all the stuff works together, guys. Right, all the stuff works together. So, Bollinger Bands, the top red, that means they're looking for like a reversal. The bottom green, they're looking for a buy up. Top red, looking for a sell down. Now, let me tell you how I use it. All these colors and stuff, they're just assistants. You know, just because we're in the pink, that doesn't mean you got to take a sell. All right, you have to line up everything. Okay. Sorry about that. This is just a piece of the puzzle. So, when you have your RSI line, all right, way up, just like this here. Once this RSI crosses the trigger line, right here, see how those two lines cross? Red or orange? That is a possible sell entry, okay? That's possible sell entry. It's a little bit risky. Why? Because you're above the 50 market sentiment. All right. Now, once price crosses below market sentiment, all right, you're looking for possibly even a stronger sell. Okay. But all of this, guys, all of this is above the 50 static. So if it's selling while it's above the 50 static, that's not what you're looking for. Okay. You're looking for a buy when you're above the 50 static. So this naturally, unless you're scalping or something like that, or you're pretty risky because you're trading to the EMA, you'll just skip that, right? You wouldn't even take that, okay? Let me see a better example. Here we go. Here. Here. All right. So in this example, we have a bipoma, all right? Bipoma, flow of actual buy and sell volume. Yep. For the Bollinger Bands there, Woo. We have a bipoma, all right? Now we start looking for confirmations. Where's our CDI situated at, okay? So at the moment, we had our CDI, RSI line, and our trigger line were above. Hold on, man. Guys, you gotta keep your mics muted, man. You gotta keep them muted. Oh, let me just click this box. All right, now we're good. All right, so we had a bipoma. All right, price came down to our market sentiment, and it showed a nice little vector move back up. Once we got the cross back up above market sentiment, right here, you see how the red line changed to blue, going back up above market sentiment. Once it crosses this orange line right here, that's a buy entry, right? This would be something you would take because you're in a bipoma, right? So you're looking for buys, so you want your CDI to line up for the buy. Does that make sense? Look for the signal according to your trend. So now, once you get the cross up, you can hold this buy. You can hold this buy until your RSI and your trigger line cross back below market sentiment, or until your market sentiment line is about to cross over the 50 static, and everything's crossing below the 50 static. Okay, kind of like they did over here, but you could tell that was a pullback because the market sentiment was still so far above the 50 static. All right. Now, me explaining this to you guys, so this market sentiment at the support. All right. So me explaining this to you guys right now, you gotta have to practice with it to really understand it. You got to study it to really understand it. I have PDFs in the back office of Break the Cycle FX Academy that really breaks down this TBI to where if you read it and you practice, you're going to really love this thing, okay? So yes, market sentiment does act as support and resistance depending on where your dollar sign trigger line is, okay? Depends on, is in relation to, it depends on where your dollar sign trigger line is in relation to market sentiment, okay? Make sense? Whitney, did I leave you behind? You good? Does that kind of make it a little bit easier? I also did the video on the CI. I'll find it and I'll post it in Telegram. Yeah, catch me in Slack. All right. Is there any other questions from you guys? Is everyone good? Still got 31 of you on the call. Hey, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. All of the charts tonight will be posted in Slack. Well, it's already posted in Slack, and it will start being moved over to the Telegram channel. I'm gonna hang out just for maybe just a little bit because I know some people don't like to ask questions in front of a big group, and that's cool. I understand. So I'm gonna hang out with you guys for about like 15 minutes. Hey, our session's over, guys. Listen, as always, hey, look, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Hope you guys catch some pips. As always, it's your boy DeAnte. Break the cycle section, and I'll see you on the next webinar. I hope you guys have a great week.